The leader of clean places, friendly faces for nearly 60 years. When you visit our stores, you'll find something for the entire family to enjoy. From our restaurants to plenty of drink and snack options. So whether you're back on the open road or planning to be soon, we'll be here for you and your entire travel party, keeping our stops safe, clean, and stocked with all your road trip needs. Love's, the heart of the highway. Welcome to Love's. Safe and clean are two words that mean more now than ever before. Love's has been the leader of clean places, friendly faces for nearly 60 years. When you visit our stores, you'll find something for the entire family to enjoy. From our restaurants to plenty of drink and snack options. So whether you're back on the open road or planning to be soon, we'll be here for you and your entire travel party, keeping our stops safe, clean, and stocked with all your road trip needs. Love's, the heart of the highway.
Take the worry out of Wi-Fi with managed Wi-Fi from Troy Cable. Say goodbye to dead zones. Automatically update outdated technology. Get the most of your signal with specialized access points. With worry-free Wi-Fi from Troy Cable, you can enjoy a full-strength signal reaching every corner of your home. Think fast, think friendly, think Troy Cable.
And we're back with Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Y'all often hear me say, what would I do if it wasn't for Brandy? Well, I have been trying for a year to get Brandy to come on Truck Talk. Good morning, Brandy.
Good morning.
Everybody sometimes think, because I always tell people, if you can't get me, tell Brandy. If you want me to know something, tell Brandy, because Brandy is the backbone of our recruiting department. And I just want to say to her on live TV, we love you, Brandy. Thanks for all you do. Because I wouldn't make it without you. No, Brandy's not my secretary. Brandy's my friend. We work together. We're co-workers. And people often ask me that because they hear me call your name so much. But nah, I don't just get her to remind me stuff at Wireless Sounds. I got to remind me stuff for home. Brandy, don't let me forget to bring this. Brandy, don't let me forget to bring this. And her husband's name is Bart. I like that name. Her husband's name is Bart. And Bart just got a little red Jeep, and he let Brandy drive to work one day. And I told Brandy, you ain't gonna drive it no more. Y'all, she drove it for a week just to prove me wrong. How y'all enjoying the Jeep?
Love it.
Y'all go fishing this weekend?
No, hopefully this coming weekend.
This coming. Now, Brandy, you know that you have showed just how much you love the drivers. I've never seen the compassion like you show. And I don't think it's a better person that we could get to pull these tickets this morning for Driver of the Month. Because the one thing about it, if you don't pull their name, they ain't going to be mad with you. Because they love, them drivers love some Brandon. Brandon is the one that'll run off papers for them. She's the one that'll go the extra mile. And she's on Facebook with a lot of them. And they share a lot of things. One of the things we try to do, if nothing else, be like a family, a knit family. And Brandy is like me. She realizes that the drivers are the heartbeat of a company. Not just Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Any truck lines, your drivers are your heartbeat. Don't nobody try this, but try living without your heartbeat. Don't try it, but I'm just telling you, it doesn't work. It doesn't work, you know. I'm just proud to have you here. So first of all, you want to do bulk, van, or fertilizer department? Let's do bulk. Okay. We're going to do bulk. You shake them up now. They kind of thick, so you got to rattle them up in there. You got to run your hand in there. All right. Look over that way. Won't you get one? I know one person in bulk you better not get, because he come talk to you every day. I'm going to think it's a setup. I want you to read it.
Chris Kicklighter.
Chris Kicklighter. All right. Take it out. Leave it out.
Okay.
I got to take that to Tony Swilling and get his name. Chris Kicklighter.
I think he was trained by Stewart.
He was trained by Stewart. Now, Chris Kicklighter, I talked to him a couple of weeks ago. And I actually thought somebody, I'll say this, I thought somebody was playing with him. They said, his name is Chris Kicklighter. I said, no, his real name. That's his name, Kicklighter. Yes. That is unique. That's very unique. Yep. All right, you want van or the fertilizer?
The van.
You want the van. Here we go. The van.
Let's see.
The van division. These are the drivers of the month.
Gabrielle Davis.
Gabrielle Davis. All right. Who he drive for? Lee Outlaw. Thomas Sneed, TJ Sneed. Okay, TJ got one. Thomas got one. You ain't got no other choice this time. This is the first one, and that's not many of them. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know this is something that we do every month. The driver gets a cash gift certificate. Go ahead. Who was
John Harden.
John Harden.
Drives for Josh Crow.
Drives for Josh Crow. And this is something that I like to tell this story because I think it's real unique and real funny. I've had a couple of surgeries this year, but I was at the doctor's office and I called Brandon the time I got out of the doctor's office. I parked in the Employee of the Month's parking spot. And I walked down these steps. I got this boot on my feet and I see Employee of the Month and I go, oh man. I don't think. I just go inside and I said, look, I'm parked in the wrong spot. Whoever that is, I'm buying their lunch. Girl said, that's my parking spot. I give her lunch money. She said, I'm a to it for 6 weeks. Thank you so much, sir. and that stayed on my mind. And I called Brandon coming back. I said, Brandon, well, what if we had a driver of the month? And and I can't, this won't be it without saying this. Trace Parker was just coming in to being the president. And man, I fell in love with him on that day because when I went to him with it, he was like, dude, run with it, but don't let it drop.
When you haven't.
I haven't, and we haven't. Not just me, we haven't. Guys, I can't tell you how many times she'll say, hey, you got to get the drops of the month. You got to get this. And we don't let it drop, and we put a new banner up, and we make that banner, we put it up over the driver's lounge, and at the end of the year, we put all these guys' names back in there, and we pull it again, and Love's Truck Stop has got in there with us, and we give out some nice gifts. It's just a way of showing appreciation for what they do. And I am so sorry, but we forgot, I see this one from we forgot the shop employee of the month. And I'm not ashamed to say that. So when you get back, tell somebody to have that shop employee up here by 9:30 before we get off the air.
I will.
And one thing I like about live TV, it shows we're human. You know, when you record something, you make a mistake, you can just go back. When we do something, we got to tell y'all what's going on so y'all don't know what's going on. Brandon, is there anything that you would like to say this one? First of all, before you say something, I want to say this. Thank you so much for the job you do. I thank you for your family. I thank you for the family atmosphere you bring in. You don't realize it sometimes, but when you come in and you say those little nice things and you show pictures of your grandchildren, that makes other people happy. You bring off a light, and you're concerned for what we do there. And when you call me about a driver, and I can think of several that I maybe was going to give up on, and you'd give me that look. And I'm talking about Caleb, right. and it worked. It worked. He's a great driver now.
That's right.
So I thank you for that. But is there anything you would like to say?
I just enjoy working for Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. They put God and family first. I think a lot of the drivers, and just no place I'd rather be.
Okay, no place you'd rather be. Well, we ain't gonna let you go nowhere neither. We're gonna oblige you with that. Thank you so much for coming. Brandon did not want to come, y'all. I have been trying to get this for the longest. The way I got her, I was gonna be gone a week. I asked her, she said yeah, and I left. This is the first time she's seen me. So I got one of our drivers. I got one of the interesting stories that I want you to hear. I had a driver to come to me on the ready line. See, Satan will make you think something else.
He will.
It was two trucks that was parked wrong on the ready line. And I was, somebody got to be that guy. I was knocking on their doors to tell them to turn around. And this driver started coming. He said, hey, I've been trying to find. I was like, uh-oh. He's mad because I'm asking him to move his truck. But he had one of the heartwarming stories to tell me. And I told him that I was going to tell it on Truck Talk. And I looked there for a minute. I said, no, you're going to tell it on Truck Talk, if you will. And, man, I know you're going to be driving, trying to get us that employee of the month. But you really need to get back and look at this tonight, because this is going to be a heartfelt story. I dare not tell none of it. We'll be right back with Truck Talk. Wait a minute. Say hey to Bart.
Hey, Bart.
All right, then. Say hey to them grandbabies.
Hey, Presley, Rayleigh, Hickson, and Hampton.
Okay. That'll get you in trouble there. That'll get you in trouble. Mom, you was on TV.
Oh, and I have one due in January, Max.
Max. Mm-hmm. Already named.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Be my fifth.
Well, you got your little softball team full
I
on.
will, almost.
That's good. Well, God bless you and your family, and thank you again for coming.
You're welcome.
We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Hey everybody, Mike McDowell, driver of the Love's Travel Stop Ford Mustang for Front Row Motorsports. Just want to send out a special thanks to all you out there that are working so hard to keep America moving. We know that the world's crazy right now, and things are trying, and we know that this is a difficult time, but we're so thankful for you guys that continue to stay on the road and keep us going. We know it's not easy, and you have family back home and friends, and we just appreciate it so much. There's so much that we take for granted that we realize right now that without those trucks going around the country, we wouldn't have any of these supplies. So thank you guys very much. Keep up the good work, and we appreciate it. Hey everybody, Mike McDowell, driver of the Love's Travel Stop Ford Mustang for Front Row Motorsports. Just want to send out a special thanks to all you out there that are working so hard to keep America moving. We know that the world's crazy right now, and things are trying, and we know that this is a difficult time, but we're so thankful for you guys that continue to stay on the road and keep us going. We know it's not easy, and you have family back home and friends, and we just appreciate it so much. There's so much that we take for granted that we realize right now that without those trucks going around the country, we wouldn't have any of these supplies. So thank you guys very much. Keep up the good work, and we appreciate it. Hey everybody, Mike McDowell, driver of the Love's Travel Stop Ford Mustang for Front Row Motorsports. Just want to send out a special thanks to all you out there that are working so hard to keep America moving. We know that the world's crazy right now, and things are trying, and we know that this is a difficult time, but we're so thankful for you guys that continue to stay on the road and keep us going. We know it's not easy, and you have family back home and friends, and we just appreciate it so much. There's so much that we take for granted that we realize right now that without those trucks going around the country, we wouldn't have any of these supplies. So thank you guys very much. Keep up the good work, and we appreciate it.
Take the worry out of Wi-Fi with managed Wi-Fi from Troy Cable. Say goodbye to dead zones. Automatically update outdated technology. Get the most of your signal with specialized access points. With worry-free Wi-Fi from Troy Cable, you can enjoy a full-strength signal reaching every corner of your home. Think fast, think friendly, think Troy Cable.
And we're back with Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Jack, you know, I have been waiting for this day. Ever since we talked on the Ready Line, me and Trace Parker, we big guys, so we can tell people we're emotional because we can stand our own, and we both get a little emotional sometimes when it comes to our drivers. But that morning when you walked out on the Ready Line and you was complimenting me on some of the commercials, and you said, man, you just tell the truth. This company is really what you say on TV, and we always talk about family oriented. And you started telling me a story, and I felt that it was just be robbery if our listeners didn't hit that. Did not hear that. I said hit that, but hear that. Tell me, just what happened on one of your experiences when you was driving and your wife was in an accident. Tell me about that.
Okay. Well, to drop back a little bit, 6 years ago, I had blood clots go to my lungs. And they almost killed me. And Wiley Sanders said, as soon as you're ready to come back to work. But I said, I can't do it full time. They said, that's fine, we'll do you part time. And I said, that's real nice of you. And it's worked out good. But I'm just a part-time driver for Wiley Sanders, small man in the pond. Well, February 2 years ago, my wife rolled her car, and I was 20 miles out of Chicago Heights delivering to K&W Plastics. This happens to be Wiley Sanders' company. And you can say it's God, whatever you believe in, but the mechanic that works on our cars drove by 2 minutes after my wife had her accident, stayed with her. They came, brought a helicopter in, and were airlifting her to Pensacola. And the mechanic called Wiley Sanders and told them, and then he called me and told me that they were putting her on the helicopter, that she was talking and she could move her arms and legs, but they were airlifting her to Pensacola. So I didn't know what to do. So for 20 miles, I'm driving worried. I get to K&W Plastics. I don't even get to go in the building. The manager there comes out. She says, we have an airline ticket for you. We're flying you to Pensacola. Take care of what you have to take care of. When you get there, rent a car. It's on us. Wiley Sanders is going to take care of you. Well, it was great because I went straight there to the airport, was heading down, and before I got there, I got a call again. My wife was fine. She was bruised and everything. They had her for 6 hours doing tests. They said all she was bruised badly. The woman that lives a block away was there visiting her aunt at that same hospital and recognized my wife's shoes as they took her off the helicopter, went and stayed with her.
Look at God work.
This is God's work. Then she brought my wife to the airport, picked me up, and brought us home. 3 days later, I went to the mechanic, and I said, what kind of car should I buy my wife? You know, I got to replace it. He said, well, did you like your PT Cruiser? I said, I bought it for her brand new for Christmas. She never had a new car. Loved the car. He said, well, my son's got one for sale. I said, well, how much? He says, $3,000. The insurance company had gave me $3,057. So, I mean, whatever you say, you know, made me a believer. And I never expected a company to take care of me like they did. So I'll always be grateful to Wiley Sanders.
You know, people like you and stories like that, you know, this is the only job I ever had. And when I hear that, that lets me know that I was put here to stay here. I mean, when I leave Wiley Sanders, I'm gonna be done with work. That's gonna be the end of work. But when I hear stuff like that, and I hear it come from a driver, you only said one thing wrong in all of that. I was sitting here with my little grade sheet, and you only said one thing wrong. You're not a small man in the pond. You're a driver. You're the heartbeat. I don't care if you don't do it but once a week. I don't care if you don't do it but once a month. The freight that you delivered would not have got delivered by you if you didn't do it. This lead, ladies and gentlemen, has got to be carried somewhere. I'm not ashamed to say this. I've been working around this company all my life, and I never knew. And Stephen Sanders told me this. Every time I talk to Mr. Sanders, he teaches me something, just like his dad did. Just like every time I used to talk to Mr. Wiley Sr., he would always throw a little nugget to teach me something. Lead comes out the ground. Every time we recycle lead, we save the earth. People are always talking about plants and what they do and what they don't do. But sometimes if you know the history of what's going on, every lead that we recycle, that keeps some machine from digging in our earth. Every plastic that we recycle, that keeps some plastic from going into the ocean. The acid out of the batteries, we make fertilizer. That preserves earth. Recycling preserves God's beautiful country. You saw what he did for you.
Yes.
Don't it make you feel good to work for a company that does that, but in the process of doing that, takes care of so many families?
Oh, definitely.
It gets your heartbeat that won't wait. Jehovah has instilled in a way. Me and my wife call it a roadmap. It's a direction in which way we can live. And I see you I see you realize that the guy that recognized the shoes that your wife was wearing. You got 20 miles, and I can imagine what them 20 miles would be. I can't get it dead to the T because when you love someone, we all feel different. But I can imagine that was a struggle 20 miles.
It was very tough.
But to get there and know all the thinking and the decisions that you was going to have to make had been made for you.
Well, I had already called dispatch and told them I don't care about DOT. I'm taking this load there, and I'm breaking my neck getting back.
Well, I'm just glad to know, and I do want to find out because I'm going to have them on the show too. Who was the guy that took the call? Because this is what I want to say. The person that took your call that night was spiritually guided. I can look at you and tell that you love your wife, and at that point, that was the most important thing. And that's what the Bible tells us. That when a man finds a wife, he is to cleave to her and then separate from his family. And that's your family. And to hear you say, you know, the warmth belt. And I just want to tell you again, Jack, that morning when you talked to me, I went down there and I told Doug, and I'm going to give my safety director this here. You know, I don't know what it is. I guess his age. I'm very forgetful, but when I told him that story, and he knew in a week that I was going to be off for a week, he told me, he said, keep up with that. He did not want this ball to drop. And I went in dispatching, and I started explaining it to him. And we went in the computer and looked up the dates and the time that happened. And people, because I hadn't heard about the story. And so I'm going around, I'm telling everybody, hey, I met this driver on the red line. Y'all need to hear this. Blah, 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 blah. And it's exactly what I say every commercial, every Monday morning in a recruiting class. God and family first. Now we can just get that, instill that. We got the trucks, we got the freight, we got the facilities. All we need to do is get that. That is the greatest thing. Now I'm gonna tell you what you get to do. Well, I'll tell you what, when you got good people surrounding you, Ricky Free, come on. We had forgot the employee of the month. I'm gonna let you pull it.
Okay.
That's what the driver.
I can do that.
They pulled the employee of the month, and we just had forgot it. There's nothing else to say, but we forgot it. All right, reach it in and get one. Stir it up now. Stir it up, Jack. Stir it up. Okay.
Okay.
Who we got, Jack?
We have, it just says S. Aldridge. Doesn't give a first name.
Now that's the driver. Look at Steve Aldridge. Help him out there, Ricky.
What do you got?
The drivers actually fill this out.
That's what he put, was just S. Aldridge, wasn't it?
Well, that's the driver name that put it in there. Terrell.
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 Yeah, I know who that is. That's Terrell down at the shop.
It's Terrell of Truck Diesel.
Okay. It's hard to read the card.
Yeah, that's okay. Ricky, thank you for coming on such a short notice there and bringing this to me. Jack, tell your family hi. And call your wife's name. I want to hear her name.
My wife's name is Pat.
And how long y'all been married?
We've been married for 26 years.
You put him on the spot now.
No, it's 26 years. And we met by accident, and it was the best thing ever happened to me. I wasn't looking for a woman. My first wife had died of cancer, and I wasn't looking for a woman. I met her. It's like you say, God's grace, and we've been happy ever since. And you know, we laugh and enjoy each other every day.
Now I want to tell you something. You be sure to see the lady from Sanders that's doing our YouTube, and you get a picture of you when I ask you to tell your wife's name. I want you to see the expression of your face. Did you see it? Did everybody see that? What I saw? You lit up like I had stuck a light bulb up under your shirt. That's love.
Oh.
You can't tell me nothing else. You just like, that was good, Jack.
Well,
I love to see love.
Well, we always talk about it. I says, you know, I added a room on the doghouse because I'm always in it. But we enjoy life. We got a piece of heaven. I got 40 acres with an acre and a half fishing pond in the middle of nowhere. We hear no cars, trucks. All we hear is nature. And we moved from busy Florida, and I couldn't be prouder to be living in Alabama and working for Wiley Sanders.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Now you're getting where I wanted you to be. Wiley Sanders truck. Now, let me say something though, really, and I'm serious when I say this. Nothing but a blessing to anybody that touches it. So many lives, so many. I could just go on and on. Mr. Sanders Sr. and Mr. Sanders, Stephen Sanders, they do so much that people never see. And if I wanted to get myself in trouble, I could start calling out some of them things, but I'm not. They're very private of what they do, but they do a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, don't think that all we do is lead, batteries, and plastic, because it's not. We're involved in this community. This show is for this community. I got a guy coming up next that's just coming into this community. I met him. I talked to him. I said, you need to come on Truck Talk. You need to let everybody know what you're doing and the services that you offer. And it don't cost nothing. Mr. Sanders takes the bill on this. Like anybody starting a new business, those of you who are viewing, starting a new business in Troy and anything you want to talk about this community, you can talk about it. It's just one objection we got. And we have never did it, and we're not going to start doing it. We don't talk about nothing negative. If it's negative, we stay away from it. There's enough positive things going on that you can discuss, that you can leave all that. You turn, I like to call out a TV channel name. Boy, that would have got me in trouble. But you can turn to the TV and get something negative. We want you to turn here and get something positive. That's what we want to do. Jack, thank you so much. I think your wife will be proud. Ricky, don't get in trouble. Say hello to Teresa.
Hey, Teresa.
I always see, people don't know this, but I stay close with Ricky because Teresa cooks. Teresa, I'm gonna tell you a little story about his wife. She sent all these things to work to eat, and I never would eat none. And I told Rick, I said, "Now I'm not trying to be funny or nothing. You know, I go work out 2 hours a day, and I just can't throw it away." Well, he knew that peanut butter was. I told him something with peanut. Well, she made some corn. What was it, cornflakes, Rick?
Cornflakes.
She made some cornflakes and some peanut butter, and I had it on my desk. God don't like ugly neither. So I eased it away from him and put it on my desk, and I was going to ease it to my car. But I got to hitting on it, and I think I got up and went somewhere, and somebody else hit on it. I don't need to can it to the car. I just eat the rest of it. And she made me some peanut butter that was good. So I make sure, Ricky's, I hate to Teresa, so we'll make sure she's in a good mood today. We might just get something this week. But thank you both for coming. Ricky, thank you for a short notice. Man, I want to tell you that anytime that you have something that you want to say, or somebody in the community is doing something, if a child makes an A, anything, you get it to me and I'll make sure it's aired, Jack.
Well, it's like you were saying, there's so much negative out there that I just wanted to tell a positive story.
Well, it was positive, and I thank you for telling me that. And don't you know, I tell everybody this. If you see me on this, to the drivers out there that's watching, if you see me and you got something you want to tell me and it's positive, stop me. I'm old, I can't hear good, and I don't see that good. But if you get my attention, I'm going to listen.
It's funny. When you reacted, like you say, I could tell you looked at me like, oh no, what's he want?
No, I was thinking, I was asking some guys to turn their truck around.
Yeah.
I mean, drivers sometimes get ill about that, but Doug gives me credit that I have a way of, I was going to say, now this is not, because the boss don't like them headed that way. Get the front of the toe off, it's a lot worse. That's a big place, so it's a lot of moving parts. But if you got it pulled in that way, you take a chance of getting something hit on the tail, But thank you for being so nice and telling me. We'll be right back with our last guest of the morning. This is Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line.
Hey everybody, Mike McDowell, driver of
When you think Troy Cable, think of a world-class network. Think of friendly local customer support experts. Think of reliable internet, phone, television, and security for your home or business. Most importantly, think of a hometown company connecting its community. Think fast, think friendly, think Troy Cable.
Come join Wiley Sanders Truck Lines today. $1,000 sign-on bonus. We match your 401k up to 4%. Blue Cross, Blue Shield. We also have a dinner plan. You to be the next driver of the month. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. You're a certified mechanic looking for a job, then come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line. That's right, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We need good mechanics. Call John Smothers or Ken Bray for the maintenance department. You will have a future at Wiley Sanders Truck Line.
May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rains fall soft upon your fields. Though you've probably heard these words before, it's our wish for all travelers. For those carrying the things we need and visiting the ones they love. Those that take to the open road to feed their families, to see new sights, to get ahead. They spend hours, days, nights, even weeks on an endless ribbon of highway. Through the weather, the breakdowns, the closures. And then they see it. Glowing in the distance, that familiar sign. A sigh of relief. Each day, thousands stop by. Each different. Each with one thing in common. They need this. They need us. They need a home away from home. A place where everything is exactly the way they like it, and the everyday is done extraordinarily well. So today's a new day. Let's be that place. An open sign where there's none for miles. A familiar face that always says, "Welcome back." A meal that refreshes their soul. Let's be that place where they can grab a warm shower after a long day and be that crew that can repair just about anything. Let's say, rest easy, weary traveler. You made it. But let's not stop there. We will lead how America's highway travelers refresh, refuel, repair. We will return every traveler to the road better than they came.
And we're back with Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Mr. Richard, how you doing?
I'm great, Jeff. How are you this morning?
I'm good. You know, I had an interesting lunch about 2 weeks ago?
About 2 weeks ago.
When we met, and you and Sam Stalling, we was having lunch, and you kind of struck my attention of the stuff that you do. I thought that was just so serious and so unique. What I really loved was we was talking about the bike riding, and you felt the same way I feel about getting up in the morning time and watching nature and stuff.
Right.
But what I really wanted you to do, Rena, I really wanted you to come on the show. I want you to just explain people what you do and how you do it, because you're moving to Pike County, right?
Correct. Sam and I are going to be moving down here sometime in December. We're trying to finalize some dates right now. So yeah, so we'll be living down here in the area, and I'm bringing my little consulting company with me. It's what I do, you know, and it's I don't look at it as a job. I really look at it as a calling. One thing is I've been sitting here and listening to you talk to your other guests and talking about God and family, and my consultant business is built on God. I mean, I really believe this. And there's a verse in the Bible, 1 Corinthians 3:6, and it says, "I planted the seeds, Apollos watered, and God cultivates. So that's kind of what I do. My company's called Optimized Mental Performance Coaching. You know, for people out there, you kind of say, well, you know, what is that? You know, and
That's right.
So a lot of times, people like I was actually was with the athletic director at Samford University up in Birmingham the other day, and you know, it was instead of me, I said, tell me what you think it is, and most people immediately go to mental health, and mental health is part of it, but we know that we're encouraged every day to do physical health, right?
Right.
Physical health and mental health are really all in the same. The mind and the body are all kind of complementing each other. So there is a mental health component of to it, but it's tied into the physical health of it. So the best example I can give you, this is actually a very growing thing in society now. You probably hear of life coaches, business coaches, so forth and so on. In the athletic world, it's really growing. More mental performance coaches, teams are contracting people. Best example, the World Series going on right now. FYI, a little thing about the World Series, most people don't know this. The Atlanta Braves employ a guy just like me, a mental performance coach, to work with their players on the side.
Okay.
Now, is that success? They're playing in the World Series, so he's got to think.
I like it.
Yeah, you got to think there's some success behind it. For you Alabama fans out there, Nick Saban's been using a guy just like me for 4 years, a guy by the name of Ben Newman, who I've gotten to know, and we bounce ideas off of each other and stuff like that. So, in a nutshell, what mental performance coaches do is we do start with a mindset. We've all heard the saying, "Control what you can control."
Okay.
And we get into that, and it's really getting people to buy into the belief that we own our choices and we're responsible for our choices. And part of so what we do, or what I do, is I start with a mindset. It's a series of classes that we take individuals through. This is more than just in the sports world. I just happen to be a coach at heart. I'm a former coach. I'm a former salesman. You know, I love working with young people. That's kind of part of my calling, but I've had a lot of success working with salespeople, companies like yours, stuff like that, you know, coming in doing work with new employees and stuff like that. So we'll go through a mindset class, all based upon control what you can control. And what we're trying to do in that is to get into what really motivates a person. You know, there's internal motivation, external motivation. Most of us walk around depending on outside sources for external motivation, and we know how that is. Circumstances are like this every day. So you start living your life up and down. I take them through a series, I call it I Believe class. We go through an internal, external motivation class. We go through a process over outcome. Process is a big word in this state. We're a football state, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody wants to know what the process is, so we kind of so it's kind of like process, which quite simply is just win today. Win today. You're not, we're not worried about tomorrow, because we're not guaranteed tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So we go through that, and then we actually get into some mental clarity drills. When I first got here, the lady was saying how nervous she was, and I said, just breathe.
You did.
Just breathe, and it's amazing. You can sit down and take somebody through a breathing class, and tie it into when do we need our breath the most is when our emotions are unsettled, we're nervous, or something like that. So you take them through that. We all want to have more focus in life with social media, of our smartphones and all that.
Yes.
So we can go through focus drills, and ultimately we want to cultivate with building the championship day. And that's where people in the private sector outside the sports world, so the people that I've worked with, like that has been a game changer for them. And it's like we know this, right? We know this. We're taught this all of our lives. Have a schedule, stick to it. And we get into these routines and habits, and then we get bored. And then all of a sudden our job doesn't look as good to us. Playing football doesn't look as good to us, or volleyball, or going to class every day. You build that championship schedule, and a little trade secret is it's built off of a 1% rule. 1,440 minutes in our day. You break that down, 1% is 14 minutes and 40 seconds. So you can be intentional for about 15 minutes in things that you're doing. And all of a sudden, back to that control word, that even though we know we don't have control, we get that sense of being in control. So that's what I do, and just, I mean, I love it. I mean, it's what gets me up. That's my fire in my belly, you know.
You know, when I had lunch with you and I was listening to you, one of the things that got me was, I'm looking at him because he ain't doing what he's supposed to. I listened. I said, here's a guy that can help a lot of people. Because just listening to you, when you did the minutes of a day, and before I had even met you, I thought of this. I look at a day in hours. So you do it in the minutes. I do it in 24 hours. I said there's 24 hours in a day. 2 hours of that day I dedicate to my body. I ride my bicycle in the morning. I go to the gym before I do anything else. Because when I drive through that gate, or when that phone starts ringing, I'm done. That's it. That's what I do. That's what feeds me. That's what I've told my boss that I would do. My granddaddy used to say, a poor man got to have a good word. He said, if you got a good word, you can get anything you want if people will believe in you. And I think you're going to be good for this community. And when people come to this community, and this is something that I'm trying to do, and it's a slow process, but it's working. When people come to this community, what I try to do is to establish to them that we are here to help and to help one another. One of the things that COVID did, it made us have to depend on one another.
Correct.
I got to depend that you've been safe all week. I got to depend that you wasn't around a bunch of people. I got to depend on that if you woke up this morning and you had a fever, turn the camera back, and you had a fever, that you would, you know, say, hey, Jeff, I can't make it today. And that gives us a sense of, I trust you, you're my brother, I'm your brother.
Right.
Doesn't mean that we got to talk every day, but when we talk, I know you're there. If I need somebody, I know you're there. And what I would like for you to do is to tell people how they can get in contact with you, because I just heard from what you was telling me that, you know, it just don't mean for sports. It means for anybody else. And you told me a story about a guy who was very successful.
Very wealthy.
Very wealthy.
The world says if you're wealthy, you're successful.
You're
right?
successful. That's what they say. But I can tell you what you can be. And I learned this. I learned it in a way, and I got to be careful when I say this because I want people to get worried about me. But I was at that stage where the job is good. You know, the average man wants a place to stay, a car, plenty to eat, and someone to love.
Correct.
If you don't have all those, you get a little lopsided. But I found out that if you have the love of Christ, He's already got the love for you. If you have that, then those other things become secondary. And when you put those other things secondary, it molds out. And I just want to tell you that I'm not trying to give you kudos. I always tell people, telling the truth is easy.
Correct.
When I eat lunch with you and Sam, you know how me and Sam cut up, but when I eat lunch with y'all that day, I knew you could help people. I knew you could help. I liked the way you talked, and I want you to give out your number, and I'm gonna get Justin to put your number up on the screen. So if he'll listen to it, and I notice your card, so I know you don't mind giving the number out. And somebody may want to call you after this show. They
Absolutely.
just may want to talk to you, but call you. Justin, write this number down and let's get him on here. Okay, give us out your number.
Before I do that, I'm going to take advantage of sitting here. Yes, that Sam and I are moving to this community. So I've got to put a sales pitch in, so to speak.
Go ahead.
I've been fortunate enough to have some contracts with several universities around this state. Obviously, Troy's here, and I know how much Wiley Sanders invested into Troy University. But I've been trying hard to get in touch and get some stuff to the athletic director over here, Mr. Brent Jones. So if anybody's got some connections to him and everything, he's got a couple of messages from me and all that stuff. So that's out there. But just for anybody that's interested, I will say this: sometimes when people hear stuff like this, they're scared to do it because they think they can't afford it. Mm-hmm. And my prices are negotiable. I like to listen first, see what somebody's wanting in this. So I don't want anybody to use money as a deterrent for something that can help them. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because I do know that I think people realize they kind of need a coach through life. I mean, I use one. I mean, I've got a business, but I use one because I don't know everything, and I'm not a perfect person, right? And it helps, But anybody wants to reach me, my cell phone number is area code 205-427-6675.
Okay. So a person could just call you and they could set up an appointment.
Absolutely.
And you would come see them. I guess you meet them at their schedule.
Yeah, so
the schedule's flexible.
One thing, you talked about COVID, and one thing that's really helped this is that my sphere of influence can go as far as I want it to go. Because I don't have to be there now that we've got Zoom and we have modern technology to, there could be somebody in Dothan, that maybe we can't get together face to face, but yes, we can get face to face. And so I build in office time, and I spend a lot of my time doing that, just
That is
working with
great.
folks over the phone and stuff like that. So, and then they work it around their schedule. They don't have to worry about getting off work and stuff like that. So.
But to take advantage of something like this, I would say, and this is me looking outside the box, if you're already wrapped up and your schedule is crazy, and you got a chance to meet a guy that possibly could unscramble that, could kind of unscramble
Right.
that, I think that would be to your advantage to take advantage of that. If you already, I sit there and I have to read an email because it's something somebody want me to say on the show, and then I have to, and when you multitask, you can just do what you need to do.
And that goes back to building that championship day, and because everybody, we're all pulled just either through your family, everybody's dealing with something. Mm-hmm. You're dealing with something right now. I'm dealing with something. That's life. I mean, that's reality. That's truth. We're always dealing with something, but you got to be intentional. You go into work, if you're always bouncing around to your emails or something like that, you build in that 1%. Now it's email time. Now it's phone call time. But it starts in the morning. Whatever your priority is. For me, it's my faith. Spending time with the Lord, and then spending time with my body.
And I tell people that, and me and you talked about a lot. I keep going back to this lunch. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this was a lovely lunch. I say to you, even though you can't see me, I say to you, this was a lovely lunch. That when I listened to you and I thought about, this guy does exactly what I do in the morning time. When I get up and I ride that bike, that's when I pray. I listen to my gospel music, and I kind of set a tone. What is life about? Preparation. Everybody's got a way they prepare and get ready, and I could just see these young athletes, and I say it all the time. I say it when I go to schools. That's some truck driving. I guess people were wondering, when is he going to bring it in there? Because I know he is. Everybody is not going to go to pro off Troy State. Everybody not going to be a doctor or a lawyer. Truck driving to me is a great skill. Everything you got on from your head to your toe was on a truck at one time. I think a guy could not lose if he don't know which direction he want to go to get that skill. The highest school I know is $5,000. Mr. Davis, boy, I sure hope he got this sale on because he gonna kill me if he don't. But he was running a special for $2,500 that you could just come in his school. What profession did you know you can go to school 4 weeks, 6 weeks, or 8? Because we won't take it under that. Right. I won't take a school 2 weeks. That's just not enough. But 4 weeks, 6 weeks, or 8, I'm all ears. But what profession you know you can spend that kind of money and make out the gate $50,000 to $60,000 a year?
It's not many out there.
It's not many out there. What do I tell a young parent? If you're talking to a parent and little Johnny or little Sue is still in the house and they're 22 years old, you feeding them every day, you furnish them lights and stuff, send them to the truck driving school. Say, hey, you do this till you figure out what they say. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. My daddy had a saying, you can figure out anything you want to figure out, but you're going to work as long as you stay. You can do all your figuring, but you're going to figure it on the job. You're going to work if you stay here. And what I see that you offer can get these minds, these young minds, a goal to do something productive. That's all you got to do.
Your mind sets your perspective. Mm-hmm. And it's how you look at something. You know, the story in the Bible, David and Goliath. You know, you could read through it, and it's really a lot of people telling David that he shouldn't go out there and face Goliath. That's really what that story is about. And then we know the outcome, right? But you used the key word, preparation. So preparation is the key. Kobe Bryant, Mamba mentality. Somebody asked him one time, so why do you keep doing the same drill over and over, the same thing over and over? He said, preparation is the key. Repeat is the key. Why do you think I'm so great? Now, some people say that's arrogance, but he was given the keys to what he is, how he became such a great player. But mindset's how you look at something. So if you look at it as just a job, it's what it becomes, is a job. But if you look at it, this is a calling. And it could be a calling to get what you want. Maybe you want to get a boat. It doesn't matter. But it's a calling, but that mind. So think about this for perspective. Everybody's telling David, you can't beat this guy. Don't go out there. Put this armor on, all this. Think about his preparation. He's been going around in the jungle with a slingshot. And I just can't help but think David's mindset is, everybody relax. I got this. I can't miss. He's so big because of his preparation.
I
use that story because that is what I feel like I can do for people. You bring those guys in recruiting class. You guys bring me in to speak to them. We can change their perspective, how they look at that.
You're going to get that opportunity. Don't worry about that.
Never hurts to ask for the business either, man. I learned that in sales. If you don't ask, you don't get.
You know, I sit here and I've listened to you, and once again, I run back to my bringing up. And one thing my granddaddy used to say, he said, boy, if the Lord wanted you to talk more and he wanted you to listen, he'd have gave you 2 mouths. He gave you 1 mouth and 2 ears. Listen sometime. And you know, I've learned so much I can be in a meeting, you know, in my position now at work, I get to go to a lot of meetings. Doug, that's one thing I can say about him, is if it's something with supervisor, he makes sure I come. He makes sure he send me an email and I go. But he'll verbally come tell me because he know I'm bad not to look at my email. But I've learned something. If I ain't saying nothing that somebody else ain't said, sit there and listen and see what I can learn. Mm-hmm. If it gets in my field, say something. But don't be wanting to talk all the time. I do the same thing. I do my Bible studies. When you text me, I told you I was on Bible. We do it on Zoom. But I sit there and listen. If I have a comment in my head and somebody else says that comment, I don't say that. Say that for somebody else that may have something different to say, and we put all this together. I tell the recruiting, it's all like a big bowl of soup. When I make a good bowl of soup, what has it got in it? got a lot of ingredients.
It's got love in it.
It's got
that
love and
in it.
ingredients. So if I do that, if I let Brandy tell me something, I let Ricky tell me something, I let Dale tell me something, we put that together and buying it up, we rolling in recruiting, because it's not a one-man show. It's a combined effort. A combined effort. If I listen to that driver, some other driver is going to say, you know, I had something real unique to say. I'm going to contact Hoss. What am I going to do? I'm going to listen to it. People don't want to see me every day. They want to see what's going on. What's going on in the trucking business? I have a lot of drivers that watch us at night. I want to be sure I have your card. There may be someone I want to talk to. You don't know what door has been opened. God is good too.
God is great.
He's good too.
God is
Man,
great.
thank you so much, Richard, for coming. I just knew. I know he rolling us up out of here, Richard. Just good. He get that number one more time before I say my goodbye.
Yeah, it's area code 205-427-6675.
All right. Remember, Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. If you have something positive, you call me. We'll talk about it. 334-372-5049. Keep them big trucks rolling. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Welcome to Love's. Safe and clean are two words that mean more now than ever before. Love's has been the leader of clean places, friendly faces for nearly 60 years. When you visit our stores, you'll find something for the entire family to enjoy. From our restaurants to plenty of drink and snack options. So whether you're back on the open road or planning to be soon, we'll be here for you and your entire travel party, keeping our stops safe, clean, and stocked with all your road trip needs. Love's, the heart of the highway.
Take the worry out of Wi-Fi.
Did you know at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, after 30 days of employment, that you can join our 401k retirement plan? That's right, we match it up to 4%. That's gross pay, 4% after 30 days of employment. Drive a Buck Division truck for Wiley Sanders Truck Line, be home twice a week and every weekend. You know, if these wheels roll at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, you make money. Home twice a week, every weekend. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, $1,000 sign-on bonus. Come drive for the best today. Come join Wiley Sanders Truck Lines today. $1,000 sign-on bonus. We match your 401k up to 4%. Blue Cross, Blue Shield. We also have a dental plan. You could be the next driver of the month.